hell, man. Stop playing with me, man. Look at, let me tell you something. Work smart, not hard. Look at, since I didn't have no wire, man, and since I was like asking some of y'all upholstery guys and different people like, yo, man, yeah, if y'all got the wire and diagram to this whole Camaro layout, man, like shoot that to me so I can go ahead and get this thing wired up and get it right. Well, you know what? I said work smart, not hard. So basically what I did, man, I had a second casing, cut my casing open, dissected. As you can see it, motherboard, still good. Took my casing, took my old Chevrolet headlight unit. Man, look here. Now, since y'all want to do custom, we all the way custom. Pull it out when I want my lights to come on. Push it in when I want my lights go off. Yo, YouTube, what's good, man? Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Your boy Rich, everything checking in, man. Remember I told y'all I was going to show y'all the wrong and the right way to do this thing right here. Well, this switch right here for my lights and all, it still works with my wire and harness and everything. So if y'all watching the little video I posted last night and I told y'all about a switch, I told y'all it's best to have two of everything. So here's my other one right here. And you're probably wondering why this one looks different from this one. Well, they the same, but why this one has this on the back of it. Okay, so I'm gonna break this thing down for you. Work smart, not hard. If you already got a car and you know you're doing everything on a budget, you have to think about it. When you start messing with this stuff right here, either you got to know something about wiring or you have to have a good wiring guy, you know, who knows just about everything, man, from amperage, you know, it all. Because y'all saw me on one video where I went in and was trying to find out which wire was which, what does what, and I found the wires, no problem, on how to turn it on, off, you know. My black wire right here was my ground, and one of these yellow, don't make me lie, was a complete positive. So it was sending power to these four right here, which means we were sending power to those four. Now watch this. Whenever I turn it back this way, it's either going to turn it on and off. Whenever I turn it here, that's going to be auto. Whenever I turn it there, you just got park lights, and then you got your bright lights if you just want them to stay on. So that kind of explains your four modes for if you eliminate this wire and this wire for your four wires, you know. But it's still, you got to find out which is which. And then one of these wires over here will also link into this dimmer, which I could tell you no lie, the whole time I had this switch right here hooked up to my wiring system and all, with looking at the dash cluster and everything, the dimmer on this right here, to me, maybe it was a security thing or whatnot, but it never worked. So I just kind of dropped that. Okay, now remember, this is just to turn your headlights on. This is supposed to be your dimmer. So with that being said, we come here and I still have everything labeled, you know, where as of right here, you know, where it says headlights, I probably should have put bright, left turn signal, screen control positive, what we got here, screen control negative, turn signal to the right, my ground wire, and a constant 12 volts. So that right there was simple. When looking at the wiring, just for this side right here and your headlights, The big thing about that is just getting everything wired into the car so you can make sure your turn signals work, left and right, and then, you know, pushing it forward and backwards to cut your bright lights on and off. Your menu button, being that we're not using the original cluster here, you don't have to worry about that menu button. You could probably take this menu button, I'll be honest with you. For those that's doing a little bit of racing or whatnot, you know, you ain't hear this from me, but you could probably take that menu button and turn that into a two-step or whatever. You might want to hit that and hold that for your two-step or whatever the case may be. You could do just about anything with it. You might set this up for your LEDs inside your car. So when you hit that, your LEDs inside your car turn on. It's all on you, man. That's the big thing about being custom or whatnot. Of course, you saw where I broke this one. It could be fixed. I have fixed it at least 2 or 3 times now, so that's no problem. I got a extra one laying around here. It's more than likely in my box over there. Got an extra one over there laying around, so all I got to do is just swap this one out and put the new one in. Now, let's get down to what we have going on right here. When I told you guys about working smart and not hard. Now, what I did was I took my actual headlight switch out of the box Chevy. It's right here, a little dirty on the inside. We're gonna wipe that up. I guess it's dirty. Let's see. Oh, no, it ain't too bad, but we're gonna clean them contacts and stuff up. But this is actually my headlight switch out of the box Chevy. You can get them. Some of them come 7-pin. Some come, you see right here where we got extra, like it's supposed to be 7 and 6. You see the numbers on there right then, and those are how they pin that out. I wish I had the other one so I could actually show you from the Cadillac. Then I started thinking, I was like, man, let me just go back with what I know is going to work into the car instead of cutting wires and actually putting extra stuff in there that doesn't belong in the car. So basically what I did, and I'll tell you, if you need, or if you want me to make a breakdown of it or whatnot, everybody might not be doing the same dash swap that I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure it should be fairly easy if you're putting it in an old school car or maybe even a new school car. I got to know which kind of car y'all working on, but we focus on the old school right now. With this right here, I'll be honest with you. All I did was you unplug this thing here. Which I ain't even gonna unplug. I'm gonna just leave it alone. But anyway, you unplug this right here. Of course, you know you gotta unplug it. Then what you do is you got these little clips right here. Get your nice little knife or something. I learned that it's best to really start on this end, because once you get this end up first, this end right here come up. You gently pull this back cover up. When you gently pull this back cover up, this knob right here is on there, so you end up having to pull that knob off, which I can't do that with one hand. I ain't gonna lie to you, but you'll gently have to pull that knob off. It will snap off and snap back on. What will happen is the outer ring will come off. The inner ring will stay on. This black piece in the middle, it'll stay on there because it's connected to something inside this control box. Now, once you get in this control box, there are several little small pieces you can see right here where you know you got a motherboard in there. So your basic thing is to take your time and just break this down. On this side right here, you'll have a spring on right here. See if you can see it. You have a spring right there. And also, when I turn it, you're going to have another spring right here. And what that does is, if you can see, it causes the kickback on your knob here. Now, I'll be honest with you. My knob that I put back in this one, I just put it back in there. It is not functional. And I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But you're going to take your motherboard out of here. Once you get your motherboard out of here, so a couple of little other small pieces will go back in. This piece right here, I know this round piece, and there is a slider that sits under it. Your two springs will go back in here, and then there's a clip that goes through the side that goes through the middle of this here, so it can hold this knob in place. You'll snap that back in there. Okay, that's done. Once you get that back on there, because the tabs are actually in there. So once you get down to the tab part of things, it's just a bare casing. So this case right here would just be a bare casing then. So then what I did after that was, if you notice, the back of this one right here. Now, it's ugly, but it is what it is. I ended up having to cut these off. Now, when you pull that motherboard out, that motherboard is still good. That motherboard will pull the pins out. Everything will come out with it that you need to make these lights functional. So if I ever wanted to sell this whole harness or switch out motherboards because something burned out in here, I have an extra motherboard that can go in here. But what I did was I took my small cutoff wheel, I cut this off right here, just so I wouldn't have any interference on this box, which it sits further back. So I could have kind of left it in there, but then you see my washer right here. My washer was going to come close to it, so I just went ahead and cut it and grinded it down anyway. Now, the biggest thing about that is, now once you have this right here dissected, you no longer need it. So you just basically put your motherboard, all your pieces to the side, lay them out on the table, do whatever it is you want to do with it. This right here is the 81 Chevy headlight switch that I unplugged. When you're taking this thing out of the car, I'm going to tell you right now, if you had it in there for a while, you never took it out, you're going to catch it. This little piece right here sits on the front. So what this piece does is this piece rotates. You have to take a flat head and rotate it, because this screws into this and locks this switch into the dashboard. So you're going to have to take your flat head and unscrew this part right here on your original dash to get this out. Then you have to remove the plate from under your steering column, reach in and unplug your wiring that goes to this right here. It's only one plug on mine, unlike the Cadillac. All right. Tell you what I did here was these knobs. I basically had to cut these knobs down on the back. I had to cut the Camaro knob down on the back to where it was a flush surface. There's a little plate that sits in there, and you want that to sit flush on this. You can see how flush that sits there. And then that way, you know, you can kind of just sit it on there without having this even on there, and just see whether or not it'll just sit there and like rotate. You know, like now, how it rotates nice and smooth. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So once I did that, this arm can actually come out. I don't know if a lot of y'all know, you push this trigger here. You pull this arm here halfway out. And it's going to be kind of hard to show y'all that, but this is the whole function. I'm going to show y'all the whole function of why I did this with my original switch. Instead of me now having a switch that I can turn this switch, but this switch does something different now. So now when I'm turning this switch or this knob, it is actually dimming my lights instead of turning my lights on. If I want to turn my lights on, I simply come here and just, you know, custom. You just pull that out. So now once you pull that out, look at what you've done, man. And this is what I was telling you when I said it. I had to make like my little cuts or whatnot, but I'm simply pulling my knob out. When I pull my knob out, my headlights come on. So time for me to turn my headlights off. I push that back in. You notice nothing moves. I use Autobahn glue. I wish I could tell you what size these were. The washers, honest with you, and I probably could. Here's what I grabbed right here. So let y'all see right there on the video what I grabbed. And the washers, I just used one of these washers right here. And the reason I only use one washer is because the bottom part of my knob was already acting as a washer to level the bolts off. I actually glued these two nuts together first, and then I turned around and glued the nuts to the actual base of the light. And once I got that on there, I put my light switch back in just to see if it was lined up, how much space I had. And then that allowed me to know that I only needed that washer for this to sit flush in there. And then I just took the Autobahn glue and just went across my washer, across the nut at the top, and Autobahn everything together. You can see that Autobahn glue is like amazing. I'm using a different brand. This is it right here. You can go on, just look this up on eBay, man. Look it up on eBay. This is right here is like the activator. This right here is your glue. So you got your CA50, and then you got your AC200 activator. Good stuff, man. I've used it on door panels and all. And I'm pretty sure y'all probably looking at the door panel video. Yep, got to redo those because I actually broke one. But there you have it right there, man. All in a small little video. I can go back and I can plug up my regular or my original light wires and still get the same functions I've been having, but only with the Camaro dash swap now, because I'm not cutting any wires or anything and making this thing right here. I've already wasted enough time. So when I pull that out, my headlights are on. Push it back in, headlights are off. Turn this knob. That's going to brighten up my dashboard. Whatever lights will work by the dimmer. Turn that right there off. That's going to dim it. So it is what it is. This side right here, man, I'm thinking about putting my windshield wiper part on there, but I don't know yet because, like I said, I still got my windshield wiper parts right there on that one. So I'm gonna try those wires right there, being that those wires right there come straight from the column and I already have the wiring kind of figured out on that. I'll try it and see what's what. The only thing about it is you have to be very cautious about voltage and resistance, because some of these new cars, they don't actually take well to 12 volts reference. Some of them just want 5 volt reference. So you can easily burn these switches right here out quicker than these big heavy metal switches right here, because they want a full 12. So yeah, with that being said, man, y'all know what it is, man. Your boy Rich _ everything with an A. Schooling y'all, man. I'm about to go out here. I got to work on the work truck, man. Had a wheel bearing went out on me. Long story short, but man, do something with them buttons down there. Like I told y'all, man, each one teach one, man. We're going to keep this thing right here going. Got the light switch done for the Chevy, so we no longer going to worry about the headlights and everything cutting on and all this other good stuff. We almost there, man. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get this engine out so I can go ahead and or get the engine out of the shed so I can go ahead and drop it in the car. The weather down here is it's cold at night, but it's also a little breezy and everything else in the day. So I want to go ahead and get this thing right here done, man. But y'all stay tuned, man. I got a lot more work to be getting out here doing today, man. Got to get the work truck back up and running for sure. Blue is down. Bought a new battery for Blue. I don't know if Blue, if it was just the alternator, because I got a brand new alternator on there from Advance. But, you know, I hate to talk about people. I've gotten bad parts from Advance, I ain't gonna lie. I'm just saying that on camera because, you know, a lot of stuff that they sell are refurbished. But bought a brand new battery for Blue, so I'm gonna put the battery in Blue, and I'm gonna see what Blue gonna do. So it is what it is. I'm gonna go out here and work on this work truck first, man. Hey, man, thank you for the support, man. Let's build these supporters up, man. Each one teach one. Y'all need to know something. Get in them comments. Let's get at it, please.